Hello world, and welcome to Digital Discussions. I'm very proud to present a great discussion between Brian Burke, president of Smashing Ideas, and Calvin Carter, founder of Bottle Rock Apps. Brian heads Smashing Ideas, a digital agency currently rocking the market, providing excellent work in mobile application, games, e-publishing, and websites. You may know them through their classic Adult Swim game, Robot Unicorn Attack, or their ebook rendition of War of the Worlds. Calvin Carter and Bottle Rocket Apps claim many hits on the Apple App Store, also provided mobile and web presence for many big shots like Disney, ESPN, and National Geographic.
First off, as a developer, we're very happy that the App Store has user reviews and it's so easy for them to review. We think Apple's done actually a very good job of making sure that the people that do have the app can very easily jump on the App Store, whether they're on an iPad, iPhone, or their Mac, and leave a review. It could be a star rating or it could be a full review. And these users are leaving these kind of drippings for other people to benefit from. So whether or not they really liked an app and they're helping promote the app by saying they like the app, or if they're helping other users avoid an app that's really poorly designed or can hurt them in some way. Those are important too. And good developers are also going to be reading those. That's a wonderful feedback loop, a completely free feedback loop of what users in the real world are trying to tell the designers and developers.
It is good. I do like the user reviews because, by the way, sometimes we do take a look at them and say, hey, you know what, that can help us in the next, update or whatever it may be. The worst part is when people find a bug. Let's face it, let's just call it that. And the last thing you want is users to be your QA team. I mean, we've got an extensive QA team at Smashing Ideas, so we try to find everything, and we test across all devices, all OS, every version of it, etc. So we try to put out the most bug-free build possible. But then the problem is someone will say, hey, it crashed. And then you're like, wait a second, give me the information about what you're running on. What's your OS? What version is it? Do you have iPad 1, 2, or do you have, a 3G or something, 3GS? So we need that more information. So I think it is a little broken there because we're unable to actually do the necessary sort of audit of all the reviews and what's working, what's not, because, QA is a huge part of our company. Now, with that said, feature-wise, the most reviews that I like the most are the ones where users actually present features. Like, what if you did this? You guys should do that. Hey, your next update, why don't you add these levels? Specifically with games, I love feedback relative to games. I love when people suggest new characters or new features, a new mechanic for an update, something like that. I absolutely love that.
We believe that we should have faith in the user, that they know more than we do what they want. And so by reading those reviews and then understanding, hey, there's an opportunity here that we never thought of that our brand or our app could lead into, and we wouldn't have even known that if we had the review. But let's talk about what the effect of that is on downloading. We believe, and we can, we back this up with talking with users in various studies and whatnot, that when a user is about to make a decision, download or don't download an app, they look at two things: the price and the star rating. And we believe that if a user has launched an app about 5 to 10 times within a 30-day period, they were probably very happy with your app. And at that time, that's when you can ask them for a rating, and you can dramatically do a much better job of capturing those 5-star ratings. You're not gaming the system, you're simply asking people who already love your product to tell others about your product. So being smart about that whole ecosystem, about that whole life cycle, will actually help you achieve the two things that you really need to get for downloads, which is free and 5 stars.
The challenge we have right now, honestly, is that in this ecosystem where anyone can post a review, you actually don't know who's on the other side. You can take a look and see what other reviews they've done, and that's good. It's democracy, right? It is democracy. They have the right to do it, and it's good. The challenge is what we don't want to do in this ecosystem is turn off brands that are dipping their toe in the water and have built a really good app, and then right off the bat, because someone doesn't like that brand, we'll give it a 1 star. And it's a free app, right? So all of a sudden you've got all these negative reviews. They've got 1.5 star, 2.5 star, but it actually is a well-designed app. None of ours, of course. I'm just saying this is what I've seen out there. The key is we don't want to discourage brands from investing in this platform, in this medium. So my only request from users is that if you are going to write a review, write something constructive, write something meaningful. If it is a bug, let us know, or whomever out there, any development shop, what OS you're running, what version, what device you're running, and then also if it's a feature request or if it's a brand you don't like, speak to the content in the app, not about the brand. So we're talking about constructive reviews. The one thing I do like about this ecosystem that we didn't get before in mobile, and we don't get on the web, is actually people that use the apps, write positive reviews, love them, and we love hearing from users, honestly, and all of our clients do as well. And it really definitely, when they are genuine, and genuine positive or negative, it's good feedback, right? And that's exactly what we need in this industry. We need to know how we're doing because we live and die by the end user using our stuff, right? But you gotta imagine when you're spending, let's say for example, you've got a client that spent a few $100,000 on an app, and it's a free app, and someone downloads it, and they go, yeah, didn't like it, 1 star. And all of a sudden you're like, 1 star, but why didn't you like it? Tell me why. That 1 star affects the overall ecosystem. They may have just not resonated with them, but they downloaded a free app because they didn't have an investment in it. So the key thing we need to have from users is actually show an investment in free apps as well. Take time to actually check out the app. Take time to actually go through it and give feedback that supports that 1 star rather than, didn't like it, it sucks. So that's all I ask from users. If we're going to invest in this platform and everyone in the ecosystem invests, users need to invest as well and give concrete feedback, whether positive or negative, just put a little more effort in it.
So can your app be free and have 5 stars? Absolutely. We have several that are free and 5 stars. That means you have to think harder about your revenue model and harder about your business model. The easiest thing to do as a developer and designer of apps is put it on the App Store and charge 99 cents. A deeper, more meaningful business relationship with the user might be in fact free, to have no barrier to start a relationship with that user and then determine what your revenue model is, through a relationship with that user. And then let's talk about 5 stars. There is a very distinct app lifecycle. First off, you have the download and the open experience. So on the open experience, there needs to be a little bit of kind of wow factor to it. If you're going to have any sort of sex and sizzle, have it right then, so that people understand there's a lot of time and effort put into the design of this app. This is going to be a great experience. They might immediately quit it just because they now need to move on and do something else. Think about how you used your apps yourself. Many times you download it, you're curious, you launch it, and then you plan you're going to come back. If you had a bad experience in the first launch, you're not going to come back. And when you do come back, a user has to be able to do 1 or 2 simple things well. So your app has to have a couple of ways where they can start to engage. So if it's too hard to start using the app, people are going to delete it. Then, when they come back the next time, there needs to be kind of a deeper engagement. They need to do 1 or 2 more complex things within your app well. And if you kind of survive that life cycle, now you have a very satisfied user.
If you, the audience, would like to see footage from the panel or more information on Brian and Calvin, please check out my website, thestewlife.com, and look for the post iPad, the second coming of the CD-ROM.